dance floor.
Come on!
What's up, everyone? Shock here, bringing you a tournament match. It's round 1 in Darkoness21's RUTR tournament. It is versus the PokeMai11, and I decided to not speed the video up at all. The song is The Seven Angels by Avantazia off their album, The Metal Opera Part 2. So, I'm gonna lead off with my Blasted, my Yuxi, because I love this thing. And she leads out with her Icky, her, Scolipede. I forgot the name of that thing. So she immediately withdraws, predicting the Thunder Wave, when I should have just went for Stealth Rocks, because she goes on to No Salt, and obviously absorbs that, you know, Thunder Wave. So now I'm going to go for the Stealth Rocks, whereas she's going to go straight for the Toxic. I was just like, fan-friggin-tastic. We're back to this again. Because this Gastrodon is a pain. If you ever watched any of her battles, it is a literal, absolute pain. So now I'm going to switch out and go into my Ophiuchus. And yes, I know, I had it saved for me by someone and I missaved. But it has the, whatever it is, the ability to get in-game. So she goes for the Scald, and it doesn't count. This is a custom set. And now she's going to switch out into Assault, and she's going to go into Serena. And I go straight for the Glare, because I wanted to paralyze whatever was going to come out, or even no Assault. And I do get the Paralysis, but Shed Skin kicks in. I do think that's the left one. I think. Yeah. Shed Skin kicks in, and boom. Just like that. Paralysis is gone. So I go for Glare again. Like, I gotta get this thing, keep this thing paralysis, and she goes for the Flamethrower. And it's going to do a decent bit, but I was just like, oh yeah. Go Ophiuchus, you tank beast. And then, of course, Shedskin kicks right back in. So I'm like, screw it, one more Glare, and then I'm switching Ophiuchus out. Because even with Fire, I think I have hit Fire. I think it was Fire, actually. Living Ground. I'd have to get several Calm Lines up, because that is an evil-like dragon here. So, at this point, I'm going to switch out, and I'm going to go out into Motor T, my Rotom, fan form, and, of course, Paralysis kicks in, but Shed Skin, for like the third time out, like, what, 5 turns? So I go straight for the Toxic, because I'm like, that's it, screw it, gotta get residual damage building up on this thing. No residual Toxic damage building up. So she goes for the Dragon Tail. I'm like, unexpected. And it does a lot more than I expected. So out comes my Phylosian. And I forgot I had the wrong thing power on this thing. So, it has the wrong power. So I go straight for the Focus Blast, and I miss. And I was like, fantastic. Because now she's going to go for Dragon Tail, and she misses too. I'm like, oh, even better, so now I'm going to go for another Focus Blast, and I don't miss this time. And it's going to do, you know, a decent bit. It's going to do a decent bit. And then she goes for Rest, and I'm like, oh, fantastic, Rest shit. I see how it is. I'm like, wow, it's going to be, and it's going to be. Now she's back to full health, and Shedskin kicks in. I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. So I switch out. I should have stayed in and just gone straight for the Focus Blast, because right after I switch out into Motor T, she's going to go straight for the Dragon Tail. So I could have stayed in, got some damage, and then switched out. Because the out comes out my Luxray, which, my Nuclear, which has Intimidate. It's a 4th gen set. So now she's going to switch out, predicting the Ice Fang, and it goes out into Kobai, her freaking little Pharaoh Seed, evil-like Pharaoh Seed. So I'm going to go for the Ice Fang, and it is a disappointing amount. I was just like, wow, that's nothing. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I've got Fire Fang. I could like 2 HKO this thing, I think, easily. I might be able to Doko it. So I'm going to go for the Fire Fang, and I'm assuming this thing is probably going to set up Stealth Rocks. I do that much. It's a 2 HKO, Iron Barbs, and I get the flinch hacks with Fire Fang. I was like, wow, that is just crazy. I was like, did I just get that? She's like, yep. So I'm gonna go for an Ice Fang now to finish Kawaii off, because I thought she might have was gonna switch into Gastrodon to absorb that Fire Fang. So at this point, it's just like, okay, we're going back and back, back and back. I've got to take her out soon. So now she goes on to Icky, and I was just like, oh wait, Earthquake, obvious Earthquake, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna switch out. I'm gonna go back out into. I'm actually gonna go on to Motor T, but I think she correctly predicts that, and she goes, no, she doesn't. She predicts that. I'm like, woo, woo, woo. So I believe I'm just going to go for the Air Slash anyways. But turns out she's Life Orbed. And I was like, oh, fantastic. Rock Slide takes me out. I'm like, this isn't great at all. Because this thing really threatens, actually, just realized, completely takes out my entire team. Like, I realized in the battle, I was like, oh, this ain't good at all. So I'm going to go on to Nuclear now to get the Intimidate off, to make it -1. And now I'm going to switch out and go out into Ant to take the Earthquake, because Durant's got pretty good defense, and now she's at -1, even though she's Life Orbed. I'm going to take this okay. I mean, it does a lot more than what I would have liked. So now she's going to switch out. Sorry about that. And she's going to go out to No Salt, predicting the Stone Edge, the obvious Stone Edge. But I go for Crunch instead, because I knew she was going to switch. And that Crunch does a good bit. It was a lot more than what I thought it would, but I'm going to switch now, because I didn't want the Earth Power of the Scald. Scald would have probably nearly killed me in the burn. I don't need the burn happening. So I'm going to switch out and go on to Ophiuchus. She goes for the Scald, and I think she does get the burn on me. I don't remember. No, she doesn't get the burn. I'm like, thank God. Because usually when people Scald, it's just like, burn, 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 you know. It's like, burn, baby, burn, disco and burn. Oh, okay, I'll cut that out. So now she's going to switch, predicting what would have been the Energy Ball. And she goes down to Lil Omega. And I actually go straight... Sorry, guys, I'm still dealing with a little bit of a cold. I go for the Glare. And that's going to not miss and paralyze Lil Omega. I'm like, alright. Because I've got the Hidden Power, I forget what Hidden Power was on this, so I switch out, and I go on to blast it to take the Flare Blitz. But she goes for the close combat. I'm like, wow, I'm going to absorb that like a boss, like a champ. Like my last 8 Tweeties for breakfast. So after the defense, the special defense drop, and I thought it was Evilite, holy crap, it's Life Orb. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So I'm going to go straight for the Psychic, because it's Stab after the Toxic, and it's actually going to take it out. Yeah, it takes it out, so I'm just like, wow. Because I thought, I was talking to her on Skype, and I was like, I could have swore that was going to be Evilite. She's like, nope, Life Orb. So, there we are. So now, I'm going to go out into, she's going to go out into Icky. Back out to that thing. So, I'm just like, okay, she's going to die to Life Orb 4 times. I don't know. I'm going to switch out, go out into my Durant to take the obvious Mega Horn. Considering I resisted like, what, times 4? Yeah, I resisted times 4. And it still does a bunch of effect. It nearly takes me out. And I'm epic sad-faced about that. Because if I had a Jolly Durant, I would have outsped. But this is an Adamant Durant. So making it Adamant kind of cost me right there. Big time. So it looks like she's going to live one more turn. So I go out into Nuclear to get the Intimidate off. And I'm going to switch out. As soon as I get the Intimidate off, I'm now going to switch out and go out into my Uxie to pretty much like Death Fodder, so that when she go for like, I thought she was going to go for the Earthquake, but she goes for the Mega Horn, and that's going to take, I believe that takes out my Blast It, and it does, but she dies to Life Orb, so that thing's finally out of the way. But unfortunately I lost like a third of my team to it, and I'm not too happy about that. So now I'm gonna go back out into nuclear, and look, she's still alive, still kicking. So after -2 attack, I'm gonna switch out now, and I'm gonna go out into Obesius to take the earthquake, which she does go for the earthquake, and it's gonna do like next to nothing. Really, it's gonna do like 27 HP right there. And she finally dies to life thing, so it's like, thank freaking god, it's done. But unfortunately, she's still got that Dragonair kicking, and no salt, and now Pixel comes out. And I was like, Porygon Z's, are you? And she's like, yep, and I was like, oh, I'm screwed. Because she gets the special attack boost. And I'm like, man, pretty fast, because she goes for the Tri-Attack, and that is just complete total overkill on my Obesius. It just blows them out of the water. So I'm like, great. I'm like, it's going downhill now. It's just going straight downhill for me. I'm like, is there any way? I gotta find some crazy way to pull this out of the water. So now I'm gonna go out into Phylosian, and I thought about going for Fire Blast. I was like, well, 180. Focus Blast will go to 240. All right, so she switches now, and she goes out into No Salt, and I go for the Focus Blast, and I do believe it misses. It misses, and I'm just like, at that point, it was kind of like, wow, I'm gonna be fighting like losing battle, because I go for the Focus Blast and I don't miss this time. And I was like, if only I had hit the first time, because I believe she's gonna go for the Scald or the Earth Power. She actually goes straight for the Recover. So I was just like, oh yeah, Hidden Power. I'm pretty sure it's Hidden Power Grass. So after she gets recovery from recovering leftovers, I'm gonna go for that Hidden Power. And then I remembered, right as it was doing the animation, oh yeah, it's Hidden Power Dark. Freaking Dark. I was like, fantastic. It does next to nothing. She goes for the Earth Power, and that's going to put me at a 2 HKO range, actually. I can actually lift into these. Puts me in Blaze range, but too bad she's not part Grass type, because then I'd go for the Fire Blast. So I go for the Focus Blast just because it's the only option I have. And I'd have to hope for like a critical hit, pretty much, and no crit. And her No Salt goes for the Earth Power, and then now takes out my Phylosian. So I'm just like epic sad face, because I'm down to like I think my last Pokemon now, the last one, and it's Luxray. It's my nuclear can't do jack that thing. I'd have to like flinch hacks it out. Like, I don't know. Like that was my option. I'd have to flinch hacks that Gastrodon out. So I'm gonna go for the Ice Fang after the Intimidate, and pray to God I can get the flinch hacks, or maybe the freeze hacks, because then I could just start charging up. But I don't. It does a decent bit. She goes for the Earth Power. Crit would have been really helpful there. And I believe that Earth Power nearly takes me out. With 50 HP, I'm like, oh yes, mixed ED Luxray for the win. So after leftovers, I get 20 HP back, and I'm going to go for another Ice Fang after she gets her HP. And I'm like, come on, freeze hacks, come on, flinch hacks. And nothing happens. She goes for the Earth Power, and that's pretty much good game. I've lost this match outright. I believe this is my last Pokemon, which is my last Pokemon. And it is. So good game, Mai, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Good luck, Mai, in the rest of the tournament. Check out her channel and Darkoness21's channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. I know it was really long, but I just did not. I felt like just doing a raw video. So, peace, guys.